Okay, guys, I don't know what happened on this last little thing, but I'm gonna walk you through it again. So you're right here, you go to Alt-D, and you do test. And I think it did it on mine. But for those of you that it didn't work on, or whatever, if for some reason it didn't work and it gave you a DAT file, that DAT file is probably not going to work. I don't know why it did that. But if it did create that file, then just type it all in caps. Test. Press enter. I don't know what it just did. Okay. Then go Alt-E. All cap test. Enter. Let me get in there. Okay, Alt-D, all cap test, enter. And it's going to bring you to a blank field. God dang. Man, I don't know what it's doing. Alt-E. Google test 1. I have no idea what it's doing. Good test 11. Okay. So you should have test 1. I don't know, for some reason, if I have a couple of tests in there that are test 1, it's bringing up some other stuff, but you should be here. And if for some reason the other test didn't work, then this is what you need to do. Yeah. So type in capital test. You don't have to do the 11. I did that just because of mine. It's something on my computer that it's not reading it in, okay? So type in capital test. You shouldn't have a capital test in there, but if you do, then just think of another one. Capital test 1 or capital test 11, whatever. And it's going to ask you, it's going to tell you this file does not exist. Okay, we know that because we're going to create a file. Press enter. It gives you that option again. It has like a double backup, okay? So it always asks you, are you sure you want to create this file because it doesn't exist? Yes, I want to create it. Okay? So it brings you to a blank field here. Okay? And then what you want to do, this should already be set, and for some reason on mine it's not, but it should be a parenthetical. Okay? Or you know what? I think it's a fixed. I'm sorry. I think it's a fixed line, but it should already be done for you. A fixed line is going to bring you all the way flush on this side, okay? So it's going to be a fixed line. So what you want to do is Shift D. Shift D is going to add a blank in there, okay? So you want it to read. You can have it read whatever you want, guys. You can have it read fill in the blank. I really don't care what it says. I'm just kind of showing you what you need to do it. And this was what I'm trying to show you guys right here, is one of the students asked me, how do you do it to where we can have something real easy to where we can put it in and it already has, kind of the stuff, and it's kind of a fill in the blank or whatever. And this is kind of the way that you do it. And you just put test. Okay? You want it to be adjustable because if it's going to be JC, literary, Q&A, whatever, blah, 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 no big deal. And then push OK. Actually, what you might want it to read too is probably last field, because if not, then it's probably going to go to the end of the document every time. I didn't really think about that. So if you want to go in there and adjust it, you can. Go into Alt-D, go into type TE, get your capital test, open it, and then go to that first line, to where it says,
So I can go in
Yeah.
and make that change.
go into Shift E. Now you want it to go on the last field. Yeah.
So here, like I have this, right? I can add another field.
Yeah, if you
Or,
wanted to.
like,
Mhm.
because Val, you were saying for like your name and what speed, right? So we
Yeah.
can enter a field for
Yeah.
each one of those.
So what you can do, is get out of here, and on this first line right here, type in, you want to be in N, so just type in your name. Okay? Type in your name. And then do Shift F5 after you've typed in your name. And then do Shift E. Oh, you gotta be in hyperkeys. Make sure you're in hyperkeys. Shift E. And do, what is it next? Test. Test. Adjustable. Don't do last field on this one. Do not do last field on this one. Okay? Press OK. That's going to bring up your test. Do Shift F5. Shift E. And do date. This one you want last field. So it's going to be adjustable. Last field. Okay. And there you're set up.
So on my first line, I have test because that's what we put, right?
No, on your first line, you're gonna have your name.
So I need to add another line
Yeah.
because we were here, so I'm going to,
Go over, just arrow over,
and then go up.
and do Shift F5.
Oh, wait, you need that.
Shift F5. Now get out of that. Shift F5. Okay, now go up,
Then type my name.
type your name, however you want it to look on the test, or on your paper.
So I'm in hyperkey, so I have to hit N
N,
first.
yeah. Okay, now go down, just arrow down, get back in hyperkeys, how? Okay. Okay, do Shift F5. Now do Shift E
No,
and do date. You
and
want
you
it
put-
adjustable, but you want it the last field. Okay. All right. Do you?
So I've got mine set,
Date, yeah.
but then I close this.
No, what else did you enter on that date?
Okay, get out of
And
that.
what else?
I
Now
entered,
go into
Somewhere.
just a file.
if it was a PC, you know, like what the test was, it was PC mod.
Alt G.
And then I put week 11, so it would be the week, and then it would be the date. See, because I've got 5 lines.
You have 5, so you have your name,
Name, PC, dash mod, literary on the next line.
Now do Alt R.
Or you could do PC mod / literary.
Mine's that one. Okay.
Is it? Okay.
you,
Come
what
see.
did you put,
There you go.
your name?
I
And
have
now do
That's-
E.
the,
And there it
which
is on the
test
right.
it is.
Okay, so that's the,
Oh, no, the semester.
so what's on this spot?
So
I
like
just do
Q and A,
false.
80,
And
and
Hold on.
So-
semester.
Name,
that's how I got my
test
line.
number, date. It doesn't, does she have an
Does
order
she?
that you,
Yeah,
I don't,
I got, see, when I went to.
Like
name, what,
See,
which
no,
test
mine
it
was-
is,
no, it
and
wasn't
the
in
speed, the date, and the
And I
semester.
did
That's what I,
all L,
or like week,
and it lets you
11,
type
this is
in
week
text.
11. But today I forgot to, you're supposed to print it, each one on, it starts on the new page, like, cute. Take 3 tests, but you start each one on a new page, like I forgot and I printed mine already. I guess they take points off of them or
The
something.
test, the date, the week, and the speed.
Okay,
That's what I-
then
we should-
you
I
go
was
back
just
to
there
the
working
hyper keys,
and
and
one
you're able to
jury
use
charge
it.
at blank words
And
coming
then
up.
when
And then
you're,
the
like,
next.
say, you
Blow it up.
do your jury charge stuff, then the test is over, and you come to the middle of the page.
Yeah,
Okay,
see, I have
well,
name, date,
What
spring
you do
semester,
is
week 6,
you do
testimony, 60 words and that. That was in
And let's
February.
put that header above every
it's
section.
another
That's what I
paragraph.
do.
Yeah, so that.
But I mean, I don't know if
Bring
there's
it down
I
so
think you're
that
supposed to.
this is at the top of the page.
I got right
and
down
then you
first week.
work it
Isn't that
down,
what you like
and then
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, yeah, and it's good fresh.
And
I
I
see,
didn't know
because
you
you could be at a different speed on a different test, right?
Yeah, so you would always put speed.
So you have to put what
You were
speed
just
you're
gonna
at,
create
so
one file.
Like
that's
next-
why you have them on the same
Just
line,
messing around
right?
with stuff
Like you
while
put
you
Q and
were-
A and then your speed on the
Yeah, I
same.
would
Really
do
set it
Q&A
up.
at,
Did you already
which is like
create
the
the
last
file?
line at,
Oh,
and then my
no,
speed.
this is in the
Cause
tutorial.
like next week I'll be at
This
two
Oh,
different
okay.
speeds.
This is in the
So-
tutorial, and the
And-
tutorial.
okay.
Oh, so you don't
But,
have your
and it's, I don't know why I did not do, because we have
it,
it,
but it's so
a
complicated.
sheet, like it covers
Yeah.
Right
it.
when he says it,
Like, we
yeah.
already like write in our information, so I'm not really sure what the purpose is, it's kind of a waste of space on paper, but we do it.
When you mark something, how do you get it to
This
stay there?
was-
Like,
this
this
was
one,
the
mark one
question I
word
had.
and move on.
Like,
Mark it
this
for
is the information that
Like,
I
just to
want
come back to it?
Yeah,
to be able to get.
I can't figure out how to get it to just stay.
And I was messing around with.
Like, if I
this.
keep
Yeah.
moving, it just keeps
Yeah.
doing it, and then if you hit escape, it erases all of it.
What what I've done in testing before was I just like got out a hyperkeys and wrote like
And we'll go does what?
All
like write something beside it.
Yeah.
Because then it comes up in a different color and so I'll notice it and I'm scrolling
Right.
through, but
Yeah.
I don't, that'd be good
But
to
you
know how to
put in-
mark something.
Yeah,
Someone
I
said
just
it
looked it up
was
and help, and
ordinary
it
text
doesn't,
that
I
was
mean, it
created
says that,
during
to
translation.
mark it,
But
and, it doesn't show, it just says to hit escape to erase all of it, but I don't want to erase all of it.
at any rate, you wanna do all, at some point.
Yeah, editing
Okay,
marked.
not in hyperlinks.
Once text is marked, a great many
I
editing
can put
functions
this
can be
in.
performed on it. Okay,
And it's-
so how do you get it to stay?
And it's
But
not
yeah, I don't think
part
that
of the
the back
document.
marking is meant to stay. I think that's just to edit it immediately.
If it's after the video, it's part of
It
that.
says the bottom, the hyperkey down.
When, what they're saying is, this was not keyed in
This one.
through style, this is just,
Oh, you're just adding.
yeah.
Well, that's the same
So
thing
if
as
I close
insert.
that out, it's
Yeah.
gonna save
That's the
everything?
same thing as insert, you're just
Uh-huh.
inserting
Well,
stuff.
If I close, if I X out from it, it'll save
And
everything that I
just,
put
you
in?
know, and then
I think
when you're
Okay,
in,
so I
when
won't
you're
X out
creating
yet.
the work, and let's say you've done your jury judge, and
I'm
you're
trying
ending here.
to do it,
Actually,
PC
no, I
and
lost
put
it.
Ending on
today.
18, but
And is it
CC
really?
mod starts
No,
on
I was
20.
there, but
Starts on
I
line
just,
20. You don't want
For what?
PC mod on
the
that
test today,
page. So
transcript.
you just paragraph down so that PC mod.
Actually, I
Is at the top
pulled it
of
up,
the
pulled my
next
machine
page,
up,
so
and
that
tear kind. Well, what I did is I went through my machine, checked it out, and then anything I couldn't figure out, I came here to see
Your
if it would
final
help.
copy to submit.
Did it
Or see
help?
if it had,
Evaluation. It comes out like.
I mean, I had figured out everything,
Different back.
like,
I'm surprised at how much it helped me really read that. And Jonathan's like, don't you, you know, because Judy's like all about.
But yeah, I mean, you
Back
can,
from over
you
here.
can
Well,
paragraph
she
down
makes
to
it
the next
easier,
page and it
but
gets
when
up
I
to the
go
next
there,
page.
Yeah,
I
All you have to
see
do is
it.
a page break.
Yeah, it makes it,
I see it like where, I can sound it out, like I'm like,
Control.
so you do see it too, then, right, Sarah? Like it does
well,
help?
and mine, because since mine's nothing but briefs, mine's coming up pretty, like, I think my untranslated grade
Oh,
for the
you know what
test
it's
today
all
was
for.
like 0.52%, like, so everything else came up okay. Because I was doing nothing
That
but
gives you a
briefs.
page break, so that automatically takes you to the next
So
page.
that's
Oh,
my
that's
problem
what
with
she
having
was
that.
saying.
I'm too
Yeah.
tempted to just
You know,
look at the
'cause I
English
think-
translation.
So you can be on
If I'm
page,
having trouble
you can
sounding
be
it,
on line
it's
two.
it's right
You don't
there.
have to,
Because,
you know,
yeah.
shift it all
And
the way
because you know
down,
how these
whatever
learners
next
are.
page
Yeah.
breaks
They're
it.
so
Okay.
funky,
Breaks
it's
it to the
like,
next page.
which one exactly that is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, guys, y'all got that?
So if we X out, it'll save everything?
Yeah. So that's how you do it, okay? So that's how you created the little thing. So now, when you go to take the test, you know, you do your test every day.
You go to Alt-R.
Well, you don't want it to be on the first line. So you want to go to that first line where it starts, do Shift F5, and that brings it down however many lines you want to, and then push your Alt-R, and then that opens up your block file. Select the one that you want, which is your test, and then it puts your name in there or whatever, and it's already here. So you're here, you put in test, jury charge, $160, date, boom, ready to go. All right? So this way it already puts it in there, you know? And I'll find out next week. There's something going on with that list file, and I need to kind of call them and figure it out on the list file. But what I'm gonna do is try to find out the list file, so this way it automatically brings it up. You know, was it jury charge Q&A? So this way it's gonna keep you from having to type it in. It's already, and we'll create a list for it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So that's the way you do that. What's that?
Oh, we were comparing our untranslated keying during our test this morning.
Your untranslates?
You
Yeah.
gotta translate.
Sarah's was less than 1%, mine was 13%.
It's okay. I
She said,
mean,
that's not bad.
I don't think it's bad, that's like still 87%.
But what
is
it
good.
translates it to
Quality.
isn't what it should be, so that's a problem too.
well, I mean, don't get too hung up on that. I mean, one, your dictionary's not built,
And it
you know,
can
up to
pop up
probably
crazy
what you
words.
wanted to. What's that?
And it can also be popping up crazy words that aren't right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't read it as wrong because it's not,
Yeah,
A
because
wrong
it's
word.
already reading it.
yeah.
And a lot of mine I've noticed is when it's two words
Mhm.
and two lines, it joins them together or vice versa.
Okay.
Where it is two lines of one word and it makes it, or I don't know how to say it the first time, but just the
That's
opposite.
the opposite of what you want it to do.
And I don't know if that's because sometimes I use two different theories.
You use two different theories? So-
Yeah, sometimes we go back and forth between Kissinger and Stennett.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then you're probably gonna have some problems there.
So I think I have some problems with some of my prefixes.
Yeah,
Not
and
jiving.
suffixes, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I don't understand the way that he writes or whatever, so I mean, that,
Right.
yeah, from what I understand, you're gonna, if you use both, yeah, you're probably gonna have a lot of conflicts. And that's okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Somewhere in all of that, I lost my test that I did today.
Okay.
It's not showed, this is once again one of those files that just disappeared.
You've had that a couple of
Is it
times, haven't you?
showing
It keeps happening.
a time, is it showing today's date at a later time?
Maybe.
That's what I had to go through and find it again, because it
Because
saved it as a later time now. Hopefully that's what it is. So I was trying to go back to my test.
You know, guys, like on that stuff, I don't know, because I don't do it, you know, like you guys do. I always name my file, name your file every day.
We can't.
Yeah,
Why?
and see,
It doesn't
because
give us
ours,
the option.
and, yeah.
It doesn't?
It's in student, you can't name the file till you actually close it, go back for it,
And the time that I went back for
and
it
they're not
renamed it,
always in order, like it's.
And then the time that I went back to rename it after the fact, to come back to show you that
Yeah.
file that was giving me issues, that's when I renamed it, and it had no problem, and then I went and reopened it, and that file was blank. All my 60 pages of writing was gone. So,
Because we have the student
Yeah.
version, it doesn't
Did you
give
call
us that
support on
option.
that? Because I don't,
I didn't, I was incredibly apathetic at that point about the whole thing, and
Yeah.
just wanted to keep from throwing my laptop out the window, so.
No, I mean, don't get that frustrated. It's there somewhere.
Okay.
It's there. I mean, you just have to figure out where, and like she was saying, maybe it's under a different time.
But that was that weird day that, the last 9 pages of the file also when it saved to my flash drive or print.
Yeah.
So there is something going on.
Okay.
But I guess is the professional version not this glitchy?
No. It allows you to do a lot more stuff,
Oh, really?
I think, yeah,
So do you think these glitches are just because it's student?
probably.
Okay.
They just don't want you to be able to name stuff and be able to use it. Like if you're a reporter and buy the student version that you get for free, so they're not gonna allow you to do a lot of things, because of that. So that's
I don't have to
probably
worry
why.
about this crap happening.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No one? Yeah. You know what, guys? I think we're gonna get out a little bit early today, just because the next one that we're gonna do is big, and
What's
it's
the next one?
braces and dictionary. So it's gonna talk about dictionary stuff and how you do, how you mark everything for your dictionary, and it already knows how to do it. So we'll save that for next week. Okay, do y'all have any questions about what we did today? Okay, I'm gonna find out that form filled and to be able to put a list, and it's gonna make it a lot quicker now. So you go through there, I'm sorry?
That'll make it quicker to find it.
No, it's gonna be quicker to select. So like when you go on to test, so you have your name already. When you push E to go to test, now it's gonna bring up a list. And it's gonna say jury charge Q&A lit, and then you just choose the one, whatever, and then
Put them fill in your date.
and then fill in the speed.
Cool.
So, I mean, it's gonna be
Fill in
quick.
the speed, fill in the date.
Yeah, and then I'll figure out, and then we can fill in the month, the day, and the year. So it's gonna go boom, 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 it'll go a lot quicker, okay? I don't know what was kind of messing around today and a little weird, but, okay? So I'll figure out that for next week, and it's gonna make it a lot quicker. But this should make it a little bit quicker for you guys when you're reading it in. So mess around with it, go home. When you practice, go up to the top, do Alt-R, push the test, read it in there, fill it in. So this way the more you use it, the more you're gonna understand how to use, the controls, okay? If that makes sense. Because if not, you're gonna go, was it Shift-R or Alt-E, and then you're gonna go into the wrong thing. If you go into Alt-E, it's gonna do something totally different. It's not gonna read that file in that job. Alt-R knows that it reads that file in, okay? All right, we'll see you all next week.